Hello, my name's Blair and I'm going to be reading some of the works of the Oul Han. The Oul Han was better known as John McFall. He was the headmaster in Armoy Primary School and he wrote in the vernacular for the local paper, the Northern Constitutions, between the years of 1906 and 1913. His writings become better known as the Bushside Letters. And here's one I picked to read for you today. It's an Oul Han and picnics. Dear Sir, one of my girlfriends has written to me telling me she's gone on a picnic somewhere or other. She wants to know what she'll take where in the shape of grub. Well, this is a muckle debated question. I know some that take meal fudge and buttermilk and make for the seashore where they lie about or paddle through the sea and wash their feet and gather dulse and limpets. Others make up a basket of nice things like wee homemade cookies and an old boiled hen and cake with icing on the top. My girlfriend can please herself, but I'd advise her not to bother her much about it. This is the season when young and old want away for the day, and it reminds me of some picnics that I have seen and been at. I'm sure you have been at some yourself and know what it's like. The first step to settle the day and wha's gone. Up to that day, the weather has probably been all you could desire. You get up 2 hours afore yourself and look out the window, and of course, it's sure to be raining cats and dogs that morning. However, you're half a cheer, and you say to yourself, it'll surely fare up before we start. If you only women folk, they'll be up titivating their hair and trying on blouses and things like that, and wondering and bothering you whether they'll go in their licht costume or in their dark. And as their hat on strecht, at last you start, the one body carrying the basket and a wheen of overcoats and umbrellas. It's drizzling yet, but your heart's full of faith and hope. You reach the wagonette and fin a wheen of bodies trying to console themselves that the day'll be good and looking very weatherwise. The tune pokes their heads out at you as you climb up and makes remarks about this yin and that yin. Of course you take it as good pert, for aren't you gone and they're no. And you feel sorry for them, and you know they're turning green with envy. At last, with a crack of the whip and a gee up, off you go. Somebody tries to raise a chorus or a song, but it turns out a failure. For the first mile or twa, things look dull and nobody says much. But after that, you begin to joke, and maybe paw a lass on your knee, and the sky begins to clear. Passers-by make remarks at you, and you throw out a whin to them or raise a cheer. By and by, you get to the place appointed, a bit later than you thought, for you see, the horses needed to be watered at a pub on the roadside, and the men folk, mysteriously disappeared for a while, and when they did come out licking their lips, and far more full of fun. The nicest grassy spot's been selected, and down you sit, and the women begin to unpack the baskets, and the men to draw the corks for lemonade bottles. Forks aren't plenty, but fingers were made first. As like as no, everybody forgot to bring salt. However, all good things come to an end, and the baskets are packed again. Mind ye, what's left isn't thrown away, for in the road home at night, the hind leg of a good hen isn't to be despised when hunger takes you. The packing safely done, you begin to look round, and afore you could say dropsticks, the young'uns of the party has singled themselves out and begun to look for quiet corners, laying the merry-uns to do as they will. They begin to wonder what effect sitting on what grass will hae on their anatomy. Maybe they'll get lumbago, as the woman said, or rheumatics. But they're out for the day, and wha cares? They speak of 98, as a certain says. Time wears on, and at last you begin to think of the journey home. Nearly everybody comes straggling to the starting point, but there's 2 or so missing. After a search, you'll likely find them canoodling behind a rock, or when you come on them suddenly, they try and look innocent and solemn and pretend they're interested in wild flowers or gathering specimens. There nae gale in them, oh no, but oh, the wonderful return journey. Nae backwardness now, oh dear no, they're paired like swallows in summer. Some'll hae their heads hid on our rugs, and others'll be hugging and fearing nae foe. In the morning it was a fecht what would get you on the dickey with a driver, but there's nae fechting of that kind now. See, it's Sir Chape up there coming hame. The longest day come to an end at last, and as you arrive at the hame tune, and everybody begins to roar a chorus like. John Brun's baby had a cowl upon its chest, and they rubbed it with camphorated oil as we go marching along. The wagonette stops, goodbyes are said, and a waddle off hame, thank for it, sir. And sae ends the day ye looked sae much forward to. And also, here endeth the letter this week. The Oul Han.